If it's first, you ain't breaks, no get you know let us put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the games after this win it is. First, you again, we're here for the first minute. Can everybody keep that for 6 minutes?
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
And you have to not lose the game before you can ever win the game.
Just look around. You got the mountains, you got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass. Kiss your ass. Happy Hanukkah.
Good morning. Hello. Welcome. Long time no see. Man, nothing hits like a morning show. I almost said Monday morning show. It's not Monday. I don't even know what day it is. What day is it? Is it Tuesday? Tuesday morning show, live with Boogie. I don't have a wingman. I don't have a partner. I don't have anybody to talk to but you guys. But there's 120 of you here. 120 of my closest friends. I got a cup of coffee. I got a rock star. I got an hour and a half to kill and a lot of stuff to talk about. I've got 25 tabs. 25 tabs opened across the top of my computer right now. There is so much to talk about, man. So much to talk about. I was going back and forth with a bunch of people last night. We were talking about the transfer portal. We were talking about Jordan Seaton. We were talking about players getting arrested. There's so much going on right now around Tennessee football, so I felt like we needed to get together. We need to gather together right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Everybody get their coffee, and we'll just go through it all together. Why not? That's the best way to do it. But right out of the gate, you guys know what to do. Smash the thumbs up. You gotta share this thing out, man. We got to share this thing out. Put it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace. Tell Tom that we're live. Somebody's got to post it on Facebook because I get banned from Facebook. I'm not allowed to interact on Facebook. I don't know what I did. I don't know if it's maybe because I put COVID in the title of live streams. Is that what gets me banned? Is that still a thing? Is everybody still freaking out about COVID? I don't know. I better be careful. The entire channel's going to get shut down. We got so much to get into. Let's get into it. Let's see who's hanging out in the chat. Robert Clark says 801. 801. Well, did you ever watch NWA wrestling back in the day? They never started on time. I should start the show at 8:05 for all you old school wrestling fans. Dylan Elam says, I've got one job. What is my one job? I don't even know what my one job is. Matt Mars is here. Says, good morning, Vol fam. Happy to see the most of the O-line returning, and hopefully Seaton joins the party. That's how we're going to kick things off tonight, or today, this morning. What is today? Is it Tuesday? Brittany West is in the house. What's up, Brittany? Good to see you in the chat. Boogie, fashionably late. Bentley, I see this is the way it's going to go. I throw together a morning stream for you guys. It's been a minute since we've gathered together and hung out, and you guys are going to insult me. I see how this is going to play out. Sean Rainey is here. What is up, Sean? Tennessee Jr. is here. What's up, my friend? Jeff Olson in the house. Hopefully Pearce learns from it. We're going to talk about James Pearce. Guys, do me a favor. Like I said, smash the thumbs up. Share it out. Balls Girl drops a $10 super chat. We appreciate that. Thank you, Balls Girl. She says, door fee, good morning. GBO, Angry Titans in the house. What's up, brother? Also drops a door fee. Says, good morning, Ball family, into the Bentley of all sports talk. Not all sports talk. Does anybody really want to talk about basketball? I don't think so. Angry Todd says, GBO, Seaton, you know the move. We're going to get into Seaton coming up. That's going to be a little bit later in the show. Dylan Elam for 5 says, Dorothy, want to give a shout out to Little Ray and Demon. Hashtag Demon Home. Hashtag Colt of 8. Sling Blade for $10 says, good morning, Boogie. Some door fees for you, GBO. I appreciate that, Sling Blade. Look, it's YouTube. YouTube doesn't like live streams. They don't want us to gather together and hang out. They want me to just make videos and talk at you guys. I would rather bounce off of you guys, let you be a part of the party. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's start with this. This is what everybody wants to talk about. Last night, John Campbell goes to Twitter, and let's just play it. Let's just play it. You guys can see it. Most of you have probably already seen it. This is the most epic return tweet video I have ever seen. And by the way, for those wondering, does this mean he's definitely coming back? Eric Kane over at VolQuest did confirm with John Campbell, this does mean he's coming back. Let's take a watch.
Home free! Home free! Home free! Let go! Let go! That bit my tape, boy. Big, boy. Well, I see you, boy. No.
Uh-oh.
No, this right.
That little
Uh-oh.
Man, this ain't right.
That little Ray.
I ain't right. What the fuck, man?
That little Ray.
Hey.
That little Ray.
I love you, boy.
God,
Hey,
that
Ray, I'm big as fuck, man.
Hey, Ray cold on the field,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Hey,
Cold.
the Demon home, too, pussy. Demon home.
So there's the announcement. And come on. If that didn't fire you up, if that didn't get you excited, your blood does not run orange like mine and most of the other people here in the chat. Yeah, I don't really understand what they're saying either, Tom. All I need to see is John Campbell's face, Josh Heupel's face, and Nico Iamaleava's face. If that doesn't tell you, what do you think this football team thinks about Nico? What do you think do you think they have confidence in Nico? I mean, it starts, look, just a matter of weeks ago. Just a matter of weeks ago, we're all on here on this channel. We're all talking about, man, they got Nico coming in. They've got some skill at wide receiver. They got a loaded running back room. But, man, what are we going to do about this offensive line? We got a lot of holes. A lot of guys are going to be gone. Coop's gone. Spraggins is gone. John Campbell's gone. Everybody's leaving. There's not going to be anybody to block for Nico. He's going to get killed back there. Slowly but surely, here comes the news. Coop's in, doesn't go through senior day. Spraggins is in, doesn't go through senior day. Now, those are not official. They have not put out an official announcement. They've not tweeted it out. There's no articles out there. But everything indicates that Coop is back and Spraggins is back. Dane Davis is back. You're returning your entire offensive line. Carrick is back. The one missing piece, we were talking about the tackle position. John Campbell, arguably one of the best offensive linemen on this football team. Could have been off to the NFL. He could have gone on, could have made plenty of money, could have set himself up for the future. I argue with my wife all the time. She says they need to get their degree. Well, guess what? Once you sign that dotted line in the NFL, you can buy all the college degrees you want. It doesn't matter. Go get that bag. This football team, offensively, defensively, some of the guys that are coming back defensively, speculation out there that Big O's coming back, Omar Norman Lott's coming back. There's rumblings that Tyler Barron could come back. Why would all these guys want to come back in 2024? Why would they want to do that? Because they know the same thing that you guys know. They know the same thing that I know. We've been on cruise control through 2023. Cruise control. Sitting around here just watching this team be mediocre. We're better than that. This offense can be better than that. Why are they excited to come back? What are we talking about after Hendo Cinco went to the NFL? Man, I think we're going to take a step back in 2023. But 2024, 2025, those are our years, boys. Those are our years. You don't think Coop sees that? You don't think Spraggan sees that? Why in the world did John Campbell include Nico in his video? Why? Because he knows. Nico's a dog. These guys are in practice every single day. They know what their quarterback's going to be in 2024. If that doesn't fire you up, if that doesn't have you ready to run through a brick wall at 9:11 a.m. Eastern time on a Tuesday morning in the middle of freaking December, you ain't got a soul, man. You ain't got a soul. I'm ready to go. This football team in 2024 is going to be something special. The only problem, Boogie, the only problem is we don't have an offensive line. Guess what? They're all back. All 5 starting offensive linemen are back. Gerald Mincey is the one wild card. I've not seen anything confirming one way or the other if Gerald Mincey's going to be in. But you got Dane Davis in. And, oh, by the way, Jordan Seaton set to make his decision on Thursday. I've not seen an exact time. I went to 247 Sports, and I did see there that it says noon. I don't know if that is accurate or not. If it is noon, we're going to live stream it one way or the other. One way or the other. If they announce a time for Jordan Seaton, we're going to live stream it right here on the channel. You got to be excited about 2024. Brian Allison, been a member for 22 months. Appreciate that support, brother. Says, good morning, Vol family. GBO, Rocky Top Tom drops a $5 door fee. I appreciate that door fee. Says NWA, dropping that Ric Flair woo. Two times world champion. It's hard being humble. I just got a brand new Ric Flair shirt in the mail, straight out of the 80s. Straight out of the 80s with the actual picture of Ric Flair on it. I meant to wear it, but it's hoodie season. It's hoodie season. Billy Todd for $2 says, door fee, what's our assistant coach's status? I've got a tab here open that we can talk about Tim Banks if we've got time. I've got an hour and a half to hang out with you guys and talk about all things Tennessee football. If I don't get to the Tim Banks news, I may make a video later today. So we will see. I see all you guys in the chat. Look, it's tough when I'm flying solo and I don't have a wingman. I try to get to your comments as I can, but it's a little bit difficult when I'm rolling solo. But look, you got to be excited. You got to be excited about where this football team is at. And again, if you can return your entire offensive line, if Gerald Mincey does come back and they return all 5 guys up front, you're talking about an offensive line that was second in the SEC in rushing, 202 yards per game. And, yeah, Jalen Wright played a big part of that. Somebody got mad at me the other day, which somebody's mad at me every day. I need to stop saying that. I just need to stop saying that, and you guys just understand that somebody's mad at me every single day. Every day that I'm breathing, somebody's mad about something I said on the internet. A lot of that was Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright was a patient runner. Jalen Wright hit the hole. Jalen Wright's got elite speed. But this offensive line paved the way for him. And do you think that next year, Dylan Sampson, Cam Seldon, you don't think they're good running backs? You put this offensive line in front of them, I think the running game is going to be just fine. Second in the SEC in sacks allowed. That was with Joe Milton back there. I think Joe Milton, one of his problems is standing in the pocket too long. And I think some of those sacks are on him, right? I think most of us would agree on that. I think Nico's more elusive. I think this offensive line, if they all 5 return, going to give up less sacks going into 2024 than they gave up in 2023. I think they could be more electric in the run game. So the next question is, Boogie, what about the tight end position? Ethan Davis, man. He's the only guy in that room. You got Hunter Selman. I think he's a walk-on. Got a couple of other guys coming in, a true freshman in Jonathan Eccles. You got Emmanuel Okoye, a guy that's very raw. A lot of you guys ask me about him pretty much every day. Emmanuel Okoye, very raw, very, very raw. I don't think he's ready to contribute as a redshirt freshman next year. I think Ethan Davis is. I think Ethan Davis is going to be a threat next year. He's going to be a weapon next year. But as we've seen in this offense, one tight end doesn't get it done. You got to have more than one tight end. So where do we go from there? Ethan Davis, and we go straight to the transfer portal. Let me get this pulled up here. I got 40,000 tabs opened across the top of my computer. Already made a video on Justin Jolie earlier in the year. Most of you guys probably remember him from the Connecticut game. You look at his stats. He finished the season, 56 receptions, 578 yards, 2 touchdowns. Everybody remembers him from the Tennessee game, right? They attacked the middle of the field with Justin Jolie. He had 8 catches for 89 yards. These next 3 guys I'm going to talk about. Justin Jolie, tight end from Connecticut. The kid from Notre Dame, also a tight end. Holden Stace, I'm guessing. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Holden Stace. And then also Juice Wells, wide receiver. One of the top targets in the transfer portal. All 3 of those guys will be on campus this weekend. Going to be visiting the University of Tennessee this weekend. I think Tennessee's going to come out of this thing with at least one tight end, if not two. Let me take a sip of this delicious coffee. The question is, how many tight ends do they want to take? You look at Justin Jolie, again, out of Connecticut. He was a 3-star prospect coming out of high school, but now he's listed as a 4-star prospect in the transfer portal. So, again, I talk a lot about, when you look at the transfer portal, when you look at these kids, we really want a guy that plays at Connecticut? His time at Connecticut has proven that he's a player and he's ready to step up to the SEC. Here's what he said, man, talking about getting an offer. He has been officially offered from Tennessee. Says it's amazing, man. It felt surreal. Coach Ablin shot it straight with me, said he needs someone who can catch and is a matchup problem. Obviously, he played in Neyland Stadium, right? It's comical, and I've said it in the videos. I've said it throughout the week. You play a team like Connecticut. You play a team like UMass. You play a team like UTSA. You name them, any team like that. If one player goes out there and balls out against Tennessee, if one guy stands out on tape, we immediately start. Got to add that guy in the transfer portal. I hope Josh Heupel tracked him down after the game, shook his hand, and said, "Hey, you want somewhere to play? Come here." What better, selling point than Justin Jolie coming in Neyland Stadium, seeing that atmosphere, even though it was the Connecticut game, even though it was homecoming. That stadium was electric, and it was full till the end because everybody was sticking around. Everybody wanted to see Nico. So that stadium was full the entire game. Justin Jolie was there playing football. He saw it. That's what he said about it. He said it was a great environment, and even after the game, I had Tennessee fans saying that I had a great game. He said they showed me love instead of trash talking, which was amazing. Man, sometimes our fan base is the absolute best. Sometimes it's the absolute best. Sometimes it's the absolute worst. But more times than not, Vol Nation delivers. We deliver. I don't think we show love to Georgia. I don't think we show them respect. I don't believe there are good people that pull for Georgia. I think they're all terrible, ugly, disgusting human beings. I think it's just that, no, there are no good Georgia fans, Eric. There are none. Awesome story, though, seeing Justin Jolie come out of that Connecticut-Tennessee game and say, man, they showed me some love. And it was an ongoing joke. Any of you guys that are on VolQuest, any of you guys on the GQ, man, everybody immediately starts talking about this kid, starts talking about how we need a tight end in the transfer portal. And then the second his name emerges, he's entering the portal. Vol Nation, the GQ, blows up, gets excited. Then what happens? Then he gets an offer. Vol Nation gets excited. Then what happens? Oh, by the way, going to be on campus this weekend. Let me catch up with you guys. Some super chats coming in. Appreciate you guys supporting this impromptu Tuesday morning stream. YouTube hates morning streams. YouTube wants me to make videos, 10-minute videos, so I appreciate you guys showing love. Coach Rice in the house for 5 says, let's freaking go. GBO National Championship 24-25. Nico for Heisman. Oh, man, Coach Rice is disappointed. Coach Rice is at work. Man, Coach Jay is in Texas visiting family. Those guys both want to jump on here so bad they can't stand it. Coach Rice has been DMing me every day. Say, Boogie, live stream tonight. I can't, bro. I've had stuff going on every night. But guess what? We're going to be live tomorrow night. Wednesday night, special time of 8 p.m. We're going to continue talking about portal rumors, everything going on. Man, there's so much going on around Vol football right now. I love it. I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am. Man, I get it. We were a little down. After the Missouri game. We were a little down after the Georgia game. But dang it, man, things are trending in the right direction for 2024. Can't wait to get on here and talk with Coach Rice tomorrow night. Vol fan in the Air Force for 5 says, Dorfy, GBO. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I got a bone to pick with you, though, Vol fan in the Air Force. I tweeted it out yesterday asking you guys to follow Coach Rice, follow Matt Begley. Let me scroll the Twitter handles across the bottom. I saw Vol fan in the Air Force jump in there and follow Coach Rice and put a heart on it and maybe even said, I'm all in. Vol fan in the Air Force don't even follow me. He's on Twitter following Coach Rice, following Matt Begley, but he's like, this Boogie guy really gets on my nerves. I'm just joking, but I appreciate the super chat. Number one, Negavol, been a member for 14 months. That's a long time, brother. Orange Bowl 2023, Citrus Bowl 2024, Orange Bowl college football champs in 2025. Champions of fruit. We can make a t-shirt that says champions of fruit. Can Joe throw a box of Cheez-Its 100 yards? Don't matter. Balls by 50. Here's Matt Begley for 5. Says, Dorothy, I'm pumped. O-line, Ethan Davis and Jolie. Colts of 8. And wow, if the portal is good to us, then watch Out, man. Yeah, I just all the positions of need, man. All the positions of need, and we're gonna get to the tight end from Notre Dame. We're gonna get to Juice Wells coming up here in just a second as well. But man, if Juice Wells, I know the tight end group is more of a position of need. But if you can add a guy like Juice Wells, and I know he battled with injuries this year, preseason All-SEC, preseason All-American, transferred from James Madison, balls out at South Carolina that first year there. You add him, you got your weapon. You got your immediate one and done weapon. Jamie Roberts been a member for 15 months. Appreciate that. I've been hearing the criticism of Joe Lee because he went to Connecticut. Well, Castles came from UC Davis and was a baller. Yeah, how many examples do you need of guys that have transferred in from smaller schools and immediately made an impact? I don't think that is a valid, reason to criticize Joe Lee. I like it. You know way more about a kid that's played college football than maybe a guy that's come out of high school, right? Some of these guys out of high school, you don't know how they're going to develop. You don't know what they're going to turn into. But when you've got a guy that's got experience playing college football, I mean, I think it's basically your interview process is that you've played college football. And, yeah, now you're ready to jump up to the big leagues. You've done it at a small school. Now can you do it at the elite level? Can you do it in the SEC? Darth Ball comes in and drops a 50. 50. That ain't cheap. We'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Man, oh man, there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than somebody dropping a very generous $50 super chat and then asking a question that I don't know the answer to. Darth Ball for 50 says, off subject, but any ideas about early enrollees this year? You guys can put it in the chat. If anybody knows in the chat, do me a favor and answer Darth Ball's question. I would imagine anymore, man, this day and age, most of these kids are early enrollees. There are some examples, there are some cases where kids go to a certain high school that doesn't allow kids to graduate early, and that kind of throws a wrench into it. But now that Tennessee is back, Tennessee is going to be going to bowl games regularly, right? That wasn't even a discussion this year. You want to get these kids on campus as early as possible so that they can go through that bowl practice, right? They can see, and something that we heard Rodney Garner talk about, some of these coaches talk about is, look, are we really developing these kids in the 15 practices we get? No. But you know, have you ever started a new job? You walk in, you don't know where anything's at, you don't know where you're supposed to be. This is almost an orientation, right? You walk in, you see what it looks like. You see how practice runs, you see how it flows, you see where to be. And then you roll into spring practice, and guess what? You're ready to go to work. Now it's time to go to work. That bowl practice is crucial for some of these young kids. Coach Rice says probably 80%. 80%. I don't know if Brian Staley's still in the chat. Brian, if you're in the chat, is Braylon planning to be an early enrollee? I'm just not sure. I expect a lot. But shout out Darth Ball. That's a very generous super chat. I appreciate that, my man. By the way, playing clips, we're bringing back the Pat McAfee clip for Orange Boys. You're driving Orange Boy, we'll play Pat just through the offseason. It got a little old during the games when a lot of $20 super chats were coming in and it was just nothing but Pat McAfee singing for 30 minutes. We're gonna bring it back just for the offseason. But shout out Darth Ball, I appreciate that. Timothy McGee for 10. Hey Boogie, less option routes, more timing routes. Also, I told you that FCS has a better playoff format. 2014, first 8 get a bye, and 16 have to play to get in. Don't get me started. Oh, Timothy, don't get me started on the college football playoff. I told you guys people are mad at me every day of my life. That may have pissed off more people than anything I could have possibly said on this channel. The college football playoff is polarizing. I will say this. I will say this about the college football playoff. Kaner texted me yesterday and said he was getting the same thing. Everybody was jumping on him for his take on the college football playoff. And I said, well, what did you say? I said, did you say that Florida State should be in or out? He said, no, I said they should be out, that they got it right. And I said, well, see, I took the opposite take, and everybody's mad at me. So we were laughing. Here's the bottom line. There's nothing they could have done to get it right. Because what are you doing? Are you taking the 4 best teams, or are you taking the 4 most deserving teams, right? The argument is they take the 4 best teams, so Alabama's in. Well, that doesn't work. All you guys that yelled at me all week, sorry, that logic doesn't work. Alabama can't get in based on taking the best 4 if you leave Georgia out, because Georgia's one of the best 4. So you can't pick and choose. You can't say, oh, we're going by best, but, sorry, but Georgia's not the most deserving. They didn't win the SEC championship. Well, you said best 4. So if we're going to take the best four, then why do we even play football? Let's just sit down with a pencil and paper, and we'll map out who we think are the best four, and then maybe we'll even put it into an ultimate simulation. We'll just completely cancel the game of football. Why would we even play football? Let's just go with who we think are the best four, and then we'll choose a national champion, and we'll all sit together and cheer about it. We'll pat ourselves on the back for what a great job we did. The thing that pisses me off about the FSU thing, I don't like FSU. I'm not an FSU fan. They won in spite of losing their quarterback. They found a way, man. When adversity hits, they found a way to get it done. Go back to the Tennessee game against Texas A&M. The offense was terrible. Joe was terrible. Guess what? They found a way to win on special teams and defense. I don't care if your quarterback gets hurt. Coach Rice in the chat right now, his quarterback got hurt. Guess what? They went and won a state championship. Can you imagine, Coach, if they came to you and said, I'm sorry, I know your kids are undefeated right now, and I know you got a chance to go win a state title. We're going to ask you to sit at home because your quarterback's hurt. That's what we're going to do. We're going to ask you to sit at home because your quarterback's hurt. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. They spit in the face of every one of those kids at FSU. They spit in every coach. Spit in every coach's face. Just a joke. See, I said I wasn't going to talk about it, Timothy. You got me talking about it. The Griff 967 been a member for a month. I'm hyped. The Citrus is a disappointment. We back. Man, that's the first thing I thought when I saw Citrus Bowl. It's like, somewhere in this world, Steve Spurrier is still laughing at us. So, again, Justin Jolie, let's get back on track. Appreciate the super chat. So I will let you guys derail me all day long. I appreciate that. But let's get back on track. Justin Jolie, scheduled to be here this weekend. Another player at a position of need. Holden Stace. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. Tight end out of Notre Dame. Now he's kind of the opposite of Justin Jolie, right? Jolie was a 3-star coming out of high school. When he entered the portal, he is a 4-star as a transfer. You look at Holden Stace. He's kind of the opposite. He was a 4-star prospect coming out of high school. Now in the portal, he's listed as a 3-star. He's got 2 years of eligibility left. He was offered by Jeremy Pruitt back in 2020. And the interesting thing, the only time he's been on campus, the only time he has visited Tennessee was in 8th grade. Good Lord, the game of college football is amazing. Visited as an 8th grader. Here's a quote from 247 Sports that Holden Stace gave. He said, obviously, Tennessee's high on my list, so I'm hoping to get there. Well, he is going to get there. He's coming this weekend. He says, I probably got 1 week before I come back to Atlanta, so I don't know where it's going to be this weekend, but it could be Tennessee. It is Tennessee. Says the possibility of getting closer to home and the opportunity to play in the SEC, particularly with what the conference is going to look like next year, are among the main reasons he's intrigued by Tennessee. Said he also likes the Vols' fast-paced offense under Josh Heupel. Here's back to the quote. Says they lost their 2 tight ends this year, so having to fill the void, replacing the production that they had is definitely what they've been pitching to me, and just a brand that Tennessee has and has to offer. He says those 2 guys that left did some good stuff in the offense, talking about Castles and Warren. He says, but Ablin sees me coming in, replacing those guys and growing the tight end position with the Tennessee offense just because of what I can bring to the table. Something I like about Holden Stace, watching some tape, I can't remember, I saw it on VolQuest or if one of you guys sent it to me via Twitter. I can't remember where it was sent to me. But I like him in the red zone, man. The way Notre Dame would utilize him, they would either utilize him in the flat and then he gets upfield quick in a hurry, get in the end zone. I just think he was dangerous in the red zone. Yeah, Dylan brings up a good point there. 6'4", 242 pounds. Larry doesn't want to talk about anything other than my long intros. He says, I love the channel, but the long intros are annoying. Well, let me explain. If I can discuss this with Larry. When I hit go live, we had 21 people watching, right? I can immediately start talking. I can immediately jump into the transfer portal. I can start talking about John Campbell. And while I'm doing that, nobody's here. There's 21 people here. Nelson says, don't do it, Boogie. Don't give in to the pressure. I just want to explain. People that complain about the long intros. I only do it on live streams because when I hit go live, there's 20 people watching. So if I start the show, it's like church. What if church starts at 10:15? And at 10:15, the pastor walks up there and just starts preaching. Man, you got people drinking coffee. You got people in the back talking. You got to have somebody up there playing the piano. Let the folks file into the pews. Let folks get comfortable. Let folks start to worship the Lord and get in the mood. You're coming to church. By the time the intro stopped playing, there was 250 people here. So 230 people Would have missed the first 5 minutes of the show. Rant over. That's why I do the long intros on the live streams. I get it. I understand. If you're here right out of the gate and you want to watch, I understand. Ron the Don says, preach. Preach. Holden State's also going to be here this weekend. 6'4", 214. Good in the blocking game. The question for me is, you got Holden Stace. You got Jolie. 2 tight ends. Do you take both of these guys? And if you do, how does that sit with Ethan Davis? Ethan Davis is a guy that thinks, I'm the dog. I'm the guy. This is my team. I'm going to be the guy in the room in 2024. Me and Nico. Going to go ball out and dominate. Now all of a sudden, Josh Heupel, Coach Ablin, they go out into the transfer portal. They bring in a couple of guys with more experience. How many do you take? I'm curious if they take one of the two. And if the one is Justin Jolie. Again, rated higher in the transfer portal. Maybe not so much coming out of high school. And that's why so many people say, right, when it comes to recruiting, they talk about star rankings aren't everything. They're not. They're not everything. But more times than not, the 5 stars are going to hit more than the 3 stars. You're going to put some 3-star guys in the league. Look at freaking Hendon Hooker. I think he was a 3-star. Look at Cedric Tillman. He was a 2-star. More times than not, the 5 stars are going to hit. So we do have to land those elite prospects. We do. But you can also find the gems, right? The diamonds in the rough. Is that a saying? Is that how it goes? The diamonds in the rough? Did I make that up? I make a lot of stuff up around here. I appreciate you guys taking time to let me drink my coffee without a wingman. See, this is where I would say, what do you think, Coach Jay? All right. Got another transfer portal target. Going to be on campus this weekend. This is a big one, man. This is a big one. I made the video when Juice Wells entered the portal because I like to make fun of South Carolina fans. You know, I almost feel sorry for them. Their team sucks. Their quarterback's leaving for the draft. All their players are hitting the portal, and they don't have anybody on YouTube worth a crap. They have no voice on YouTube. Like, no coverage. Nobody that knows what they're talking about. They don't have a Talkin VAWLS. They don't. I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for South Carolina fans. So I kind of made that video kind of laughing about it. But also, what if? What if Juice Wells came to Tennessee? You go look at the transfer portal right now, one of the top-rated prospects in the portal. You got Cam Ward, quarterback from Washington State, grades out at a 95.95. Dylan Gabriel, 95.78. I know a lot of people talking about Dylan Gabriel. Boogie, what do you think? Going to reconnect with Josh Heupel? No. This is Nico's team. Dylan Gabriel is not coming to Tennessee. Plus, I don't think Dylan Gabriel was very happy when Josh Heupel left UCF. I don't think he was very happy. I don't think they left on good terms when Josh Heupel left. So I don't expect Dylan Gabriel to end up in Knoxville. He's not going to come sit behind Nico. Man, the interesting thing, when you look, you go to On3. Actually, let me do this. Let me show you guys, because this is interesting. You know, we always talk about NIL money. Oh, it's going to come down to a bidding war. It's all about money. Let's go look. This is the top-ranked players in the transfer portal right now. See that middle column there? NIL value. That is interesting. So Cam Ward grades out as a top player in the portal, $629,000. I saw somebody floating it out there that a starting quarterback in the portal is going to go for $1 million to $1.5 million. Dylan Gabriel, $1.2 million. Will Howard, third-rated player. Then you got Dante Moore, Riley Leonard. But here's the guy we're talking about, Juice Wells. One of the top-graded prospects, 6'1", 208. Tennessee needs a wide receiver, right? I mean, look, if they didn't land Juice Wells, if they don't land a wide receiver, I'm still confident in this wide receiver room. I am. I'm confident in it. But it would be nice to have a guy that's proven come in, right? A guy like Juice Wells. You know, he transferred from James Madison to South Carolina after 83 at James Madison, 83 catches, 1,250 yards, 15 touchdowns. Transfers to South Carolina, continues to ball out, 68 catches, 928 yards, 6 touchdowns, goes into the 2023 season, all SEC, all ACC, gets hurt, Doesn't have, I think he had 3 catches on the year, didn't do a whole lot. But he's a guy that would come in, he would immediately be wide receiver 1. Immediately, right out of the gate. So your question is, what does Brew McCoy do, right? And that's how we kicked off this live stream with John Campbell coming back. These guys are excited about Nico taking over. If you don't see it, I don't know what you're looking at. They are excited about Nico taking over. So does Brew McCoy come back? That's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Does Brew come back? Because if Brew comes back and Dante Thornton comes back, and then you got Chaz Nimrod, Caleb Webb, that's why I worry about some of these young wide receivers, getting processed out, right? Because you got some studs. You got some studs coming behind them. Braylon Staley, Mike Matthews. Where does Caleb Webb and Chaz Nimrod fit into this thing if Brew McCoy comes back? If Dante Thornton comes back? Obviously, Squirrel's back. That's your starting 3 wide receivers right there. What if you add Juice Wells? Now you got, when Brew McCoy comes back, you got Brew McCoy on one side, Juice Wells on the other side. You got Squirrel in the slot. Dante Thornton's going to back up Squirrel in the slot, most likely, if that was the case, if that was the scenario. Juice Wells will come in immediately and be the starter. He will also be visiting this weekend. That's why I'm talking about the 3 guys that I'm talking about. That's why I'm talking about Joe Lee from Connecticut. That's why I'm talking about Holden Stace from Notre Dame, and also Juice Wells from South Carolina. All 3 of those guys will be on campus this weekend visiting Tennessee. This is from an article from 247 Sports. Transfer rating on Juice Wells, 93. Says with the 2nd consecutive season, South Carolina lost one of its top. Why are we doing this? Why are you doing this to me? I've got 14,000. Get off my screen. I've got McAfee. Bear with me here, guys. I got all kinds of chaos on my screen. I got McAfee warnings popping up. I got all kinds of stuff popping up. We got complete chaos here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. All right, we're back. Goodness gracious, what in the world? I got 14 pop-ups from McAfee. I guess 247 Sports doesn't want me to read what they had to say about Juice Wells. Good gravy. I'm glad I wasn't screen sharing. It popped up like 14 blockers. Somebody's trying to hijack Boogie's computer. Aaron Duck says at least your internet hasn't broken yet. Yeah, now I'm just getting attacked by viruses. Which one of you did that? Might have been Larry. Might have been Larry after I lectured him. Is that who did it? Was it Larry? There's Coach Jay. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. If the reaction from these players with Nico, the guys that are coming back, why is everybody coming back? Do you think everybody would be coming back? Do you think Coop would be coming back? Do you think John Campbell would be coming back? Do you think Spraggins would be coming back? These are all guys that could be going to the NFL right now. Every one of them. Why are they coming back? Do you think they'd be coming back if, I don't know, if we didn't have a quarterback? If Harrison Bailey was the guy, do you think they'd be coming back? I don't know. Got a $5 super chat from Dylan Elam. Appreciate that, brother. Wells, Thornton, Matthews, Jolie, Staley, Nimrod with Nico slinging the rock. And a 12-team playoff. That's an interesting point, Dylan, bringing up the 12-team playoff. That's got to be the goal, right? It's got to be the goal. The goal has to be making the playoff next year. How many wins you got to get to make the college football playoff? What do the rankings look like? Let me look at the college football playoff rankings. Man, I love a morning stream when I can just do whatever and go wherever. So the college football playoff rankings, top 12 teams, 12-team Oklahoma 10-2. So the goal is you got to get to 10-2. You look at Tennessee's schedule for next year. Can they get to 10-2? I don't know how is the complete schedule out. 2024. Is this official? Why in the world would you Google a Tennessee Vols schedule and it pop up basketball as if anybody cares? So only part of their schedule's been released. All right. So much for that. But I think this team, I mean, we've seen the opponents. How good's Oklahoma going to be? How good's Oklahoma going to be with the quarterback transferring out? I think Tennessee can get to 10-2 next year. So it's going to be a big weekend, man. Big weekend of visits for Tennessee for the transfer portal with Justin Jolie, with the kid from Notre Dame, Juice Wells. A lot to keep up with this weekend. Let's go kind of recap. Let's go take a look at this article from VolQuest. Let me get back on track here. Why does 247 crash my computer, but On3 doesn't? All On3 does is pop up videos over and over and over. That's all they do. I would much rather have a video pop up than 15 ad blockers that block off my entire screen, telling me I've got 85 viruses. So this is from Grant Ramey over at VolQuest. This is a free article. That's the only articles I share from VolQuest are free articles. But if you're not paying to be a member of VolQuest, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You guys know I love and support VolQuest. Love Kaner, love AP, love Hubs, love all the guys over there. They do a great job. I think they're offering maybe even $1 deal right now. You can get a membership for $1. This is not even a paid promotion. It's not even a paid promotion. Just promoting VolQuest and what they do. So Portal Tracker, which Tennessee players are leaving and who are the Vols recruiting? That's a good question, Grant. Let's take a look. So let's take a look. Here's the guys that Tennessee has lost. What do you guys think about the departures? And again, you know, I said this was coming. We all know that Josh Heupel sits down with the players. They have conversations about the depth chart. They got to get the numbers down. Coach Rice sent me a list. Dude, he's got so many pages of notes with where they're at scholarship-wise right now based on incoming guys in the class of 24, and they're pretty close. They got to get the numbers down. So some of these guys are being processed out. Look, it's college football. It's the reality of the situation. You know, you can't have it both ways. You can't talk about, oh, well, the players deserve to be paid. Look at what the coaches are making. The coaches are making millions of dollars. The players deserve to be paid. I agree, they do. But guess what? A coach can also be fired. A coach can pack up and leave in the middle of the night and take a job in USC and set a program down 20 years of turmoil. Players can do the same thing. They're getting paid. They can pack up and leave at any point now with the transfer portal. And guess what? They can also be processed out. So you can see the guys that are transferring out. Warren Burrell. I think this is probably a mutual parting of ways. He's got 1 year of eligibility left. He's a guy that this year, I mean, we just saw absolutely buried on the depth chart. Also, Mo Clipper. You know, somebody brought up a good point to me. It was in a video I made. They left a comment. What's up, Eric Wallen? Welcome to the first live stream you've ever been a part of, brother. Appreciate you dropping in. So somebody made a good point to me talking about the young offensive lineman. And we've not got down to Addison Nichols yet, but most of you guys probably already know. Addison Nichols also transferring out. At some point, you got to start developing some of these young offensive linemen, right? We brag about Glenn Ellerby developing Darnell Wright and sending him to the league. We talk about Cooper Mays. We talk about some of these upperclassmen. At some point, you've got to start hitting on some of these incoming freshmen and develop them. Addison Nichols was a guy that we thought was going to make a huge impact. And Shamrod Umrov, you're up next. Shamrod Umrov is up next. You better be able to develop Sham because you can't keep going to the portal and adding these upperclassmen. You know, I know Tennessee offered in the portal. They offered the offensive lineman from Texas A&M. He's a backup at Texas A&M. He's not even a starter. So I think they're bringing him in for depth, but a lot of that is because Addison Nichols wasn't cutting it. Mo Clipper wasn't cutting it. Is it them? Dylan says in the chat, I don't think Addison Nichols was pulling his weight. You know, he's a guy that I've been saying for a week that I expect him to enter the portal. You guys know the response to that. I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. He enters the portal. Everybody forgets that I said it. Is it because he's not pulling his weight? Is it because the evaluation was off? Is the development missing? You look at the class of 24 for Tennessee on the offensive line, they got some studs, man. They got some studs on that offensive line. You better be able to develop them. Those guys need to be developed in this program, not be processed out, not transfer out. You know, we talk about what Rodney Garner has done rebuilding this defensive line, and it happened in a hurry. It happened really quick. Garner got this defensive line rebuilt. And now you got, you know, the speculation that Big O's coming back, Omar Norman Lott's coming back, grumblings of if Tyler Barron comes back, are you kidding me? Hold on a second, Boogie. You're telling me we're going to roll into 2024 with our entire offensive line intact, our entire defensive line intact, and the highest rated prospect we've signed in the modern era slinging the football? Are you kidding me? That's what we're going to bring back in 2024? Oh, and we're processing out some of these DBs, some of these upperclassmen DBs that weren't getting it done. We're processing them out. I think it was a Jordan Matthews tweet earlier this week, maybe even yesterday. He's like, let's get it. Jordan Matthews is coming. He is coming, and he's ready to play some football. Ricky Gibson's a guy that's coming along. We saw a lot of Ricky Gibson down the stretch. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for these young DBs to start coming along. And then maybe we'll stop yelling at Tim Banks. Maybe then we'll stop yelling at Willie Martinez if he's still here. We'll see. We'll see if either one of those guys is still here when we get to 2024. That's a whole nother conversation. And I don't know that we're going to get to Tim Banks today in this morning stream. If not, I'll come right back and make a video here in a couple hours and talk about Tim Banks and tell you why he does not need to take the job at MTSU and why we need him as the defensive coordinator in 2024. I thought Coach Jay said he was running around his house like the Ultimate Warrior. I'd pay to see that. Okay, Dylan. Now you're just getting me fired up. The cream rises to the top. Yeah. Throw Walter Nolan in the mix. Again, why do you all tell me I'm an idiot when I post a video? Posted the video with Boo Carter telling Walter Nolan to come home. He's not entering the portal, Boogie. You're an idiot. He's making that Texas A&M money. He's got that oil money. He's not going to enter the portal. Why don't those people come back and apologize just a matter of days later? Like a couple of days later, Walter Nolan's in the portal. I need to go back to that video and comment and say, excuse me, sir. What did you say? Do you all like when I go on these rants? Do you all like when I yell at people in the chat? Sometimes I can't help myself. I said just 30 minutes ago I wasn't going to do it again. A couple of super chats here. Eric Wallen participating in his first ever live stream. Good to have you in the chat. Eric drops $5. I appreciate that. Says all the guys who have transferred have been nudged to go to make room. Couldn't get Nichols going, which is tough, but high-ranking guys fall every year. I agree. That's the point of looking at these guys that have transferred out. I think it's nothing more than trimming the fat. You're trimming the fat off that delicious steak, making room. Rocky Top Tom drops a $5 super chat. Says entire O-line, entire D-line, and Nico Iamaleava. And Mike Matthews on the same field? Mike Matthews on the same field, Tom says. And then he drops one of these.
To be the man, you got to beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Appreciate that, Tom. Gosh, I can't wait to see Mike Matthews in this offense. Maybe I should speak softly, not raise my voice at people in the chat. Not yell at people that leave comments with their opinions. Jacob says, Boogie, they feed off of you responding to them. I should ignore them. You sound like my wife, Jacob. Adam says, rants are my favorite part of the channel. Michael says it's easier to call you names than to think. Oh, it comes with the territory. Austin Stubblefield for 2 says, thought Banks already accepted the job. Did he not? Man, no. He's not accepted the job unless it's happened within the last few minutes. That is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. What started as a troll account grew steam, and then it became a reality, and now everybody thinks that Tim Banks is already gone. They think he's already gone. Oh, my gosh. Richard G. West reported it, too. It was another troll account. The one I saw, it was someone that follows Richard G. West. Okay. Dude, you guys need to block that guy. You need to go right to Twitter right now. If you got a Twitter account, you need to go follow everybody that contributes to this channel. The handles are scrolling across the bottom. Give us all a follow. That way you don't miss out when we go live or when we drop videos. But also go block Richard G. West. He's a troll account, and he's really good at what he does, and sometimes you get caught up in it. So I would recommend blocking him so you don't get false information. All right, let's go back to the list of departures here. Warren Burrell, Mo Clipper. Brandon Turnage is a frustrating one, man. Brandon Turnage frustrates me to no end because I think he has so much talent. And I go back to, and it's stupid, I go back to the same game all the time. and talk about when he took over for Theo Jackson, but he showed his athletic potential. He showed his ability to play the star position. I thought when Theo Jackson left, Brandon Turnage would immediately plug in and take that star position and be a dog in the defense, but unfortunately, man, it never happened. It never played out. He found himself in the same situation as Warren Burrell, just buried on the depth chart, never getting a chance to play. And it's what's crazy, man. It's crazy to look at the safety position. They never played the young guys at safety. I forget the percentage of snaps that VolQuest was talking about. It was ridiculous. The number of snaps those upperclassmen took at safety versus how many of the young guys got run at corner. Which then kind of leads you to Jack Luttrell, a safety, 3-star prospect that had a ton of potential. Didn't get it done. Getting forced out. I wonder if he's getting forced out or if he's choosing to leave. Jack Luttrell's interesting. Everybody else that entered the portal, none of them have surprised me so far. And there's more coming. I saw in the Monday Night Chat that AAP and Brent Hubbs both took the over on 3.5 more Tennessee players entering the portal. Again, they're making room, guys. They're making room, right, for a Juice Wells, for a Justin Jolie, for whoever. They're making room for guys. But Jack Luttrell still surprised me. Nelson says NIL is why he left. Interesting. Jack Luttrell seeking NIL money as a freshman? This is kind of what I thought. I agree with Dylan. I kind of thought John Slaughter passed him by. I think John Slaughter, and then you got Boo Carter behind John Slaughter. Addison Nichols also in the portal. That one didn't surprise me. Kind of saw that one coming. Still unfortunate. It's a guy that you thought was going to contribute. Here's the guys Tennessee has offered. I've made videos on both Marley Cook and Remington Strickland. So if you guys missed those, go back, give them a watch. Talked a little bit about Marley Cook. Talked a little bit about Remington Strickland. Those are a couple of offers. And then Justin Jolie. Obviously, we already talked about him earlier. This is one I was going to mention. Nelson, you sent this to me, but I never could find that it was an official offer. Let's see. And that is Washington State wide receiver Josh Kelly. Here's the article where he entered the portal. Just wrapped up his 5th year of college football, so he's a guy that's a one and done. He's on a business trip. Plenty of options out there for Kelly, who would be attending his 3rd school after starting at Fresno State. During the 2023 season, caught 61 passes for 923 yards and 8 touchdowns. An experienced player with quality college production is now on the market. So I can pull up his profile. Listed as a 3-star as a recruit. I don't see a ranking in the portal as of yet. Let me actually go look at the portal, see if he's got a ranking here in the portal. But I never could track down, I never could find the official offer from Tennessee. Man, that was interesting. Josh Kelly listed as a 4-star in the transfer portal, 6'2", 180. So again, he's a guy that's got the size, right? He got the size. So it'll be interesting. Let's see what Nelson says here. Does Nelson say anything? Saw an On3 graphic saying we offered. A to Z just posted an article as well. Okay, so here's another offer that's not yet on. Let me go see what his numbers look like. Not yet on the VolQuest website. Transfer portal tracker. Let's go see what his numbers look like. Again, a guy that's played a lot of football. Holy smokes. Started in 2019. So 2023, 61 catches, 923 yards, 8 touchdowns. A year ago, 12 catches, 207, 0 touchdowns. 2021, 52 catches, 778, and 3 touchdowns. But again, he's got that size, right? They're looking for the size on the outside. That's something that VolQuest I've seen is also confirmed. So we'll see what happens with Josh Kelly. Man, the news is not going to stop. Let me tell you guys, the news ain't stopping. It's only going to pick up. Look, the portal, the transfer portal just officially opened yesterday. I said in the video I posted yesterday morning that I was off the radar. Didn't have my phone, didn't have access to the internet. Couldn't talk to anybody for about 3 or 4 hours. I was just off the radar doing some stuff. Come back to a wave of information from everybody. All you guys, there's a handful of you guys in the chat that are my source of information. It's like, I'm going to make sure Boogie doesn't miss this. I'm going to make sure I DM it. I get my phone back, and Nelson has sent me like 42 messages with information. Coach Rice is awesome about it too. Nelson apologized. I said, how dare you? Keep the information coming. The portal just opened yesterday. And all this chaos is coming on. 3 visitors coming up. this weekend. It is insanity, and it ain't stopping. And we're going to cover it as fast as we can possibly cover it right here on the channel. Look, sometimes I know you guys don't believe it. Sometimes I get up out of this chair and I leave. And when I do, it takes me some time to get back to the chair and get the videos out when the information comes. But I like to pump it out there even if it's late, so you guys can comment. We can have discussions. We can go back and forth. Dylan Elam said, or no, the other Dylan, the evil Dylan. Or are you the good villain? Is Dylan Elam the evil Dylan? Dylan for 5 says, so Seaton said his commitment date coming off his Ohio State visit. Don't love that. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Let's see. Rocket Top Tom also says, Boogie, are you live streaming the Jordan Seaton commitment? Well, we might as well talk about it. We might as well talk about the 5-star offensive tackle. The big 5-star offensive tackle, one of the top offensive tackles, depending on where you look. 247 Sports has him as the number 1 247 Sports composite offensive tackle in the country. Top 15 prospect. I've read the scouting report a million times. I don't need to read it again. He's a stud. You guys know he's a stud. You know he's a priority. Got to have this guy. How do you feel right now? How do you feel right now when you look at Tennessee's class of 24? When I'll go to On3. On3 has Tennessee ranked 12th in the country, 7th in the SEC. And I know a lot of people, they read that and then they don't dig into it. They don't look at the numbers. They don't look at the prospects. They don't look at anything. All they do is they look at 12th ain't good enough. We suck. Can't recruit. One thing I would agree on, y'all, Tennessee's been struggling to close down the stretch here. Not had a commitment since August the 21st. But when you look at the class, you got 2 highly rated 5-stars in Mike Matthews and Jordan Ross. Isn't it funny? We signed Nico, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, we need nothing but 5-stars. That's all that's acceptable. All that's acceptable is 5 stars. We can't have anything else. Remember when I would drop commitment videos and the comments would be flooded with 3-star U? Y'all had to read that. I had to read that. 3-star U. Josh Heupel can't recruit. Told you he couldn't recruit. The funny thing is, all the clowns out there that said that Josh Heupel couldn't recruit never signed a 4-star at Central Florida. If you go look at the facts versus the online narrative, you go look at the numbers, you go look at the truth. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. Don't ever let the truth get in the way of your narrative, right? You actually go look at the truth. You go look at the numbers. When Josh Heupel took over at Central Florida, his classes year by year were very similar to Scott Frost. Well, he only won because he had Scott Frost talent. That's it. He had Scott Frost talent. Couldn't recruit. He couldn't recruit. He recruited almost dead on with what Scott Frost did at Central Florida. So that narrative was always a joke. It was always a joke. But you go look at the class, and you go look at the number of blue chip prospects. That's what is important to me. That's what's important to me. You don't have to sign 25 guys. You don't have to sign 25 guys in the class of 24. They got 20 guys committed. 20 players committed. A lot of those guys are blue chip prospects. You got Marcus Gorey Jr. listed as a 3-star. Guess what? He's a stud. Seen him play in person. Kid special. I'm excited to see how he develops at Tennessee. I'm not saying he's going to go be all conference or all American. I think he's got some potential. Jeremiah Hurd, Idris Farouk, Gage Ginther, Jesse Perry, and Carson Gentle. Those are the only 3-stars on the roster. Oh, and by the way, again, Marcus Gorey Jr., Idris Farouk, Gage Ginther. Those guys listed as 3-stars, a lot of people think are underrated. So it's going to come down to the evaluations, right? Are the evaluations on point? Is the development on point? This class of 24 excites me, but I understand some of the frustration. I understand some of the frustration. But if you're frustrated, if you're one of those guys that are rolling your eyes right now, man, Boogie's a sunshine pumper. He's always optimistic. We could have a class full of 3-stars. Boogie's going to be on here telling us how they're all underrated. All of them are underrated. If you're that guy, if you're Vols JP, put those Negavol JP emojis in the chat. Put those paper bags in the chat. If you're one of those guys, how would it sway you if 5-star offensive tackle Jordan Seaton jumps in the boat? How would it sway your opinion of the class of 2024 if the cherry on top was 5-star offensive tackle Jordan Seaton on a team where we're talking about the entire offensive line possibly coming back? We already kicked off the show with John Campbell. Sounds like Coop's coming back. Sounds like Javonte Spraggins is coming back. Dane Davis is coming back. Carrick's coming back. I don't know if Mincy comes back. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. There were some interesting things that happened with Mincy throughout the course of the year. You know, the bonehead decision that he chose to make the week of the Florida game. The knee injury, he was too hurt to play, but yet he goes in when the game's over, late in the season. A lot of weird stuff. Eric Wallen for 5 says, Oklahoma and Arkansas getting hit hard in the portal. Great for next year and thinking we go 9-3 at the worst. Yeah, I like seeing Oklahoma lose some guys to the portal. I like seeing that for sure. That's going to be a fun game, man. Hype versus his alma mater. That's going to be a fun one. But how do you feel, man? How do you feel? Levi, you might as well flush that down the toilet. I don't care what the On3 recruiting prediction machine says. That means absolutely nothing. I used to follow that a little bit. I think it's gotten worse. I was hoping it would get better as time went on. It's gotten worse as time has went on. The On3 recruiting prediction machine is so far off, it's not even funny. Not even funny. And I wonder how much of that is because they want you to pay. Right? They want you to pay for a membership with On3 so you can see the Simmons scoop. They want you to pay for a membership at 247 Sports so you can get 14,000 pop-ups saying that your computer's being attacked. I mean, that's what just happened to me. But guess what? You guys don't have to. Let me tell you a little secret. Can you guys hear me? I pay for those, and I'll give you the information for free. You just have to come right here. So don't worry. Dude, this live stream brought to you by Rockstar. I told you guys I always have cases of Rockstar. I got embarrassed, man. I was on Amazon getting ready to place an order. I don't even remember what I was buying. Who knows? Probably something stupid. I buy so much stupid crap. I was on Amazon getting ready to place an order, and it said, do you want more of these? You've bought this a lot in the past. And it was like 60-some cases of Rockstar. That was embarrassing. So, yeah, it's brought to you by Rockstar. Man, they let me know when I can get a paid deal. All right, let's take a look. Y'all get me sidetracked, but I love it. I'm here for it. Love you guys. I feed off of you guys. I love interacting with you guys, except for Brad. Brad's an idiot. Brad just drives me nuts. Brad just, all he does is insult me. All right. Take a look. 5-star offensive tackle Jordan Seaton trims list, sets commitment date. IMG Academy 5-star offensive tackle getting closer to announcing his college decision. Going to announce on December the 7th. That is Thursday, December the 7th. Not quite a month after naming 7 schools as finalists. That list has been trimmed down slightly. He will choose between Alabama, Florida, Maryland, Ohio State, Oregon, and Tennessee. The 6'5", 295 Seaton has taken official visits to Oregon, Florida, Colorado, Alabama, Tennessee, and most recently Ohio State. He is the top uncommitted prospect in 2024. On3 rates him higher than every other major recruiting service as the number 6 overall recruit in the class. He's the nation's number 16 overall prospect in the 24 cycle, according to On3 industry ranking. Weighted average that utilizes all 4 major recruiting media companies, blah, blah, blah. Talks about his NIL evaluation of 243,000. You guys think that's accurate? You think 243,000 is accurate for 5-star offensive tackle Jordan Seaton? I don't know how accurate that is. You know, it lists Maryland, Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee were some of the names there. Visited Tennessee for South Carolina, came in with Boo Carter, dark mode, night game, beat down. That was a fun game for Jordan Seaton to be at. That was an electric environment. Came back for the Georgia game where we broke the record for I don't remember what the decibels were. It was ridiculous. Took a surprise visit to Ohio State over the weekend, and that's what's got a lot of people talking, right? A lot of buzz. A lot of people talking. Got to be Ohio State. He's coming off of that official visit to Ohio State over the weekend. Do we have something to be worried about? Papa J for 5 says FUGA got FUGA'd, and I FUGA and love it. Okay. I don't believe there are good people that pull for Georgia. I think they're all terrible, ugly, disgusting human beings. I think it's just that no, there are no good Georgia fans, Eric. There are none. Not a one. Not one good Georgia fan. You know the arguments about the college football playoff and yelling and screaming about Alabama or Florida State and all that crap? It took so much joy out of my heart because I've not been able to celebrate Georgia not going to the playoff. I should be celebrating that. Kind of took some of the joy out of my heart. Levi White becomes a member of the channel. Shout out Levi, man. I appreciate that. Talkin VAWLS faithful. That is very generous. If you're in the chat and you're not a member, but you like these live streams, you want more morning streams throughout the offseason, more morning streams throughout the year covering recruiting in the transfer portal, consider hitting that join button down below. There's also a link pinned at the top of the chat where you can join and become a member of the channel. And you can give as little as $1 a month, man. But you members, and I know I say, oh, you pay the light bill around here. It's true. The number of memberships we have are what give me that comfort blanket, me and my family, right? We know that I could quit my job and do this full time if the memberships continue to come in the way that they're coming in. But we need you guys. Make sure they stay up to date. Don't let them cancel. I know they expire and you have to renew them. Some people forget, man. Keep those memberships up to date. If you're not a member, consider joining. And again, just if you got $1, man, we got 20. We just hit 24,000 subscribers. I don't need all of you guys. I don't even need half of you guys. If we could get 25% of you guys, I would be happy. So consider hitting that join button down below. We would greatly appreciate it. Plugs, shills, all that stuff over. So here's where it gets interesting, right? He's coming off of the official visit to Ohio State. A lot of people concerned, a lot of people worried. Oh, man, he set that decision date. It's got to be Ohio State. Here is where it gets interesting. And shout out to Nelson for doing my homework for me. I didn't even have to go dig. He sent all this to me. So this is from the On3. You know, you guys know that I love VolQuest, big supporter of VolQuest. But every team at On3 has coverage, right? So Ohio State has a team similar to VolQuest that covers that football team. Here's what they said about it. And again, you're talking about insiders. You're talking about guys that have connections to the university, connections to the coaches. This is what they had to say about Jordan Seaton. It says, even with the official visit over the weekend and into Monday, Ohio State is in the mix, but may not be the front runner. Now, this is from the Oregon Ducks because, you know, it lists all the teams. It lists Maryland and Florida and South. All those teams don't matter. It's down to Tennessee, Oregon, and Ohio State. That's who Jordan Seaton's going to be choosing from on Thursday. And, yes, to answer your question, we will be covering that live. If it's at noon, we'll be going live. If it's in the evening, I'm supposed to be doing the NCAA stream Thursday night at 6:30. If it's in the evening, we'll move the NCAA stream to Friday, and we'll cover Jordan Seaton on Thursday. So we're going to be live the next couple of days. In the evening. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, Talkin VAWLS live. Thursday, we're either going to be doing an NCAA stream and the Jordan Seaton stream, or we're going to be doing Jordan Seaton in the evening, and we'll move NCAA to Friday. So, yes, we will be covering it, so stay tuned for that. Here's what the Oregon moderators had to say. It says it's strange that he set his commitment date right after the Ohio State visit, but the Buckeye insiders still are not confident. Goes on to say, I don't love him not visiting Oregon again before the decision. I guess that leaves Tennessee as the front runner by process of elimination. Shout out to Coach Rice. If it's at noon, he's all of a sudden going to get the cough. We're covering it. If I have to cover it by myself, I'll cover it by myself. If Coach Jay's free, Coach Rice is free. Look, I know everybody's got stuff going on. Everybody's got stuff going on. So, if not, we'll have it covered one way or the other. I always like having a wingman, though. So it's very interesting. Ohio State just took the official visit. Surprise visit popped up. Shows up at Ohio State. Gets the love on Instagram. Comes off the visit. Announces he's going to be making his decision on Thursday. Ohio State moderators still do not feel good. Oregon Ducks. Their moderators are upset because he didn't take a visit back to Oregon. Tennessee is the front runner by process of elimination for Jordan Seaton. You asked the VolQuest guys, they say it's a toss-up. They feel good about where Tennessee's at. The interesting thing is I don't think anybody knows, and that's going to make for a fun live stream. And I know a lot of people like to yell at us. Here I go again. Not going to do it. A lot of people don't like us doing live streams for kids that are trending away. So it's always fun, man. It's always fun when nobody knows where they're going. That's the fun part about covering recruiting. I think Tennessee has a very real shot, a very legit shot at landing Jordan Seaton. How far does that shoot them up the rankings? I don't know, but it's another blue chip in the boat at a position of need. And if John Campbell's coming back, what does Gerald Mincy do? Like, does Mincy elect to come back? Because he's going to be competing. Let me tell you right now, if Mincy comes back, he's going to have his hands full holding off Jordan Seaton. Jordan Seaton's going to come in and fight for a starting job. And maybe that's what it all boils down to. Maybe Mincy's moving on and Jordan Seaton is coming to Tennessee and John Campbell's like, oh, young fella, let me teach you a little something about playing the tackle position. Let's go protect the highest rated quarterback that Tennessee signed in the modern era, and let's go win a national freaking championship. Why not? Why not us? Why not now? We got over 300 people watching on this impromptu Tuesday morning stream. First ever Tuesday morning stream in the history of the channel. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up, make sure you do smash the thumbs up. I do want to talk about this. I hate to end on a negative, though. But this is something that a lot of people have been talking about, and I want to address it just quickly because it's on the title of the video, so I feel like we need to address it quickly, and we need to talk about it. It's from Knox News Sentinel. Tennessee football star defensive end James Pearce arrested after traffic stop. A lot of people asking about this, asking my thoughts on this. Says Tennessee star defensive end James Pearce was arrested Monday after disobeying police instructions during a traffic stop on suspicions of speeding. Suspicions? Either you're speeding or you're not. What do you mean suspicions of speeding? And driving on a suspended license, according to the Knoxville police report obtained by Knox News. He's the third UT football player arrested or cited for driving-related incidents this season. Says he's scheduled to appear in court on December the 12th. Pearce is one of the college football's top pass rushers, named AP All-SEC First Team on Monday, catalyst of the Vols defense heading into the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl on January the 1st. Goes on to say at around 8:20 a.m. on Monday, police clocked Pearce driving 63 and a 35 on Western Avenue in a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Says the police say the vehicle had expired North Carolina temporary tags and Pearce failed to provide identification or proof of insurance. Police discovered that he had a suspended license in North Carolina. Goes on to say police said Pearce refused to follow instructions during the stop. According to the report, Pearce was asked to turn off the vehicle and step out of it, but he had to be instructed multiple times before doing so. He then was told his car would be towed and that he was to stand by assisting officers while police searched the vehicle, but the officer said Pearce disregarded those instructions and walked towards the vehicle. He was then arrested, and his vehicle was impounded, the report said. Charged with speeding, driving on suspended license, failure to present insurance, registration improperly displayed, and improper window tinting. Goes on to say the university is aware, and we are awaiting more information. Here's the deal. So many people like to put out the title, James Pearce arrested, because everybody's going to click on it. Everybody's going to click on it. Everybody's going to flock to it. Goes on down here. Well, who else? I already forgot. You had some other guys arrested as well. Who else was arrested? Let's see. Danico Slaughter, same type of deal. 1 a.m. is the only bad thing there. Also, Deshaun Bishop. Nobody was talking about that. You know why nobody was talking about Danico Slaughter and Deshaun Bishop? You want to know why? Because they weren't all SEC. That's why. This boils down to a whole big nothing burger. It means absolutely nothing. The first thing I said when one of the listeners, one of you guys sent me a message on Facebook and said, Boogie, did you see James Pearce got arrested? I immediately went, oh my gosh, no, please no. God, we need James Pearce. I go read the article and I said, this is stupid. All I sent back was no drugs, no firearms, no problem. They will make this go away. This will go away immediately. I don't even think he's going to get suspended. I don't think anything will happen. I think he'd probably sit down with Josh Heupel and Josh Heupel will say, stop being an idiot. It was 8:20 a.m. It ain't like he was out at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, was he doing something stupid? 100%. He was going 63 and 35. I see you, Jeff. That's stupid. That's dumb. He didn't follow law enforcement's orders. That's stupid. That's dumb. He didn't have drugs. He didn't have firearms. This will go away. This will absolutely go away, and it means nothing. But I did want to cover it. I did want to talk about it because a lot of people are asking my opinion. What do I think? I think it's nothing. I think it'll go away in no time. I think James Pearce will play in the bowl game. Noah James drops a $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Noah says late door fee, Boogie, GBO, James Pearce will be fine. 100%. 100%. And shout out, Noah. Appreciate that super chat, brother. Jeff Olson also becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Jeff. Appreciate that, guys. Even if it's at $1 a month, $5 a month, $2.99, whatever the case may be, man. Appreciate the way you guys support this channel. Yeah, exactly, Papa J. It's wrong, but it doesn't matter. It's going away. No, it is no big deal. If he's out here drinking and driving, he's out here, which I guess you can argue 63 and 35, he's endangering somebody's life. Any of you guys ever sped? Any of you guys ever done 63 and 35? Probably. Make him run. Make him run till he pukes. And then it'll all go away. I've got some stuff here on the Tim Banks thing. I may make a video later today talking about that. Man, there was just so much. I was sitting there last night and I was going, what am I going to make a video on in the morning? I got so much to discuss, so much to do, so much to talk about. I said, let's do an impromptu live stream. So I appreciate you guys jumping on here, hanging out with me on short notice. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. If you don't have Talkin VAWLS merch, now's the time. It's almost Christmas, right? We're right around the Christmas season. And I want to just send this special shout-out, heartwarming message to you guys.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass. Kiss your ass. Happy Hanukkah.
What better time to pick up Talkin VAWLS merch than right now? The link is in the description tonight. I read Nelson's chat. The link is in the description below, not tonight. It is in the description below. Go check out the merchandise. You got to give it time to get printed and shipped so you have it by Christmas. And I appreciate you guys. Nelson, there is no NCAA stream tonight. We are moving that to Thursday, possibly. We will wait and see what time Jordan Seaton is set to commit. If he commits at noon, we will roll on with Thursday night. If he commits in the evening, then we will move the NCAA night to Friday night, and we'll find a way to get it in there. But it'll be moving back to Tuesday next week. Probably keep it on Tuesday until we get to January, and then I may shift it back to Sunday or Thursday. But I will let you guys know. I will keep you guys up to date. You know the deal. Follow me on Twitter. Go follow us all on Twitter, man. All the hosts of the Talkin VAWLS Network. Shoot me a friend request on Facebook. I've declined so many friend requests because my old account was a personal account, but my new account is just Boogie Bentley. Search it up. You shoot me a friend request. We'll talk Tennessee football on there because hashtag free Boogie. The old account is gone probably forever. But anyway, that is going to do it for this one. Shout out to you guys. Love you guys. Appreciate the support. I hope you have a great day. We'll be back with a video coming up here in just a little bit. But that is going to do it for this stream. This is Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
That we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive.